Gloomstalker. The emoest of the emo. In a four-cornered room, if you have 5 Gloomstalkers, they will all be in the corner somehow.
Yeah, there's wall corners.
There's wall corners.
Ceiling corners. There are ceiling corners that they're going to find themselves in. So, what are your Gloomstalkers? So, Gloomstalkers are at home, in your darkest places, deep under the earth, in gloomy alleyways, in primeval forests, and wherever the lights are dim. Some of these folk enter such places with trepidation, but the Gloomstalker ventures boldly into the darkness, seeking to ambush threats before they can reach the broader world. Such rangers are often found in the Underdark, but they will go anywhere that evil lurks in shadows.
Now, I'm just saying, this screams buddy cop with a Watcher Paladin, because that sounds fucking amazing. It sounds really cool. Paladin, they're all hunting darkness, maybe even a Twilight Cleric or something like, fuck it, why not?
Yep.
But I love this. This is kind of like an anti-Twilight Cleric, actually. That might be good to have an NPC. But, so, Gloomstalker features. 1, they're really, really edgy. At level 3, when you take this subclass, you get Gloomstalker Magic, Dread Ambusher, and Umbral Sight. So, Gloomstalker Magic. These are spells that you get that you don't have to add towards your... it doesn't count towards your number of range of spells known.
Free spells are good.
Free spells are always good. Would have been nice if they were free fucking casting as well, but hey, we'll take it. So 3rd level, you get Disguise Self, which we will double back to because I think there's a fucking roleplay aspect of the Gloomstalker that isn't 40k number crunching. Okay, so that 5th level, we've got Rope Trick, which is cool.
Yep, disappeared.
So remember, not only do you need a little bit of corn starch or some shit, but you also need a rope to touch, even though it's not listed. 9th level, you get Fear.
Fear's good, coming out of the darkness, all of a sudden, boom, scare.
Aha, Rope Trick! Scare people. 13th level, you get Greater Invisibility, which is very similar to regular invisibility.
But it's greater.
It is greater.
It's greater.
That's what I've fucking heard about it. It's like a regular invisibility, but just fucking greater. It's fucking greater.
Definitely greater.
That was pretty great, the way you did that invisibility. Then you got Seeming, which is where you make a whole heap of creatures illusion like something else. Like in, for those of you critical role heads out there, Scanlan making them all cows and they make them fly, and the flying cows. It made sense, but that's why we love D&D. Flying cows.
It's what happens in it's like every episode.
What happens in session stays in session.
So we start getting these things at 3rd level. Do you want to start telling us what we get for... Is it Dread Ambusher?
No, you tell it.
I'll do it. All right, I'll do
You
it.
fucking do it. I don't have to do everything. I'm carrying the team.
Yeah, you do carry a team. So at 3rd level, you master the art of the ambush. You can give yourself a bonus to initiative rolls equal to your wisdom modifier, which is also your casting ability. At the start of your first turn of each combat, your walking speed will increase by 10 foot to get you in there if you're a melee type, which lasts until the end of that turn. So like 1 round. And you can take the attack action. When you do so, you gain 1 additional attack as part of that action. If the attack hits, you'll do an extra 1d8 of that weapon's damage type. So 3rd level, you get your you get 1 attack, you get 2 attacks now, only on the first round. Pretty good, and you're doing extra damage with it.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. I'm just trying to think, if you had a bugbear one of these, it could be really fucking good. Surprise! Brrr, with reach. All right. I guess I'll do Umbral Sight.
If you have to.
If I have to. But it's good because it also comes back to what I was doing at the start with the Gloomstalker spells of Disguise Self at level 3. So at level 3, you also get Umbral Sight. You get Dark Vision out to 60 feet. But if you already got Dark Vision, this is one of those spells where it doesn't just go, hey, too bad. You get the range increased by 30 feet, which is pretty cool.
Most people, that's up to 90 now.
Yep. And if you're a drow, I think that takes it to 150, which is pretty sweet. You are also adept at evading creatures that rely on dark vision. So, while in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see you in that darkness. So that doesn't mean you've cast invisibility on yourself, and if you attack, you become visible. You are invisible. That is a state, and they will be rolling with disadvantage. You'll be rolling with advantage unless they don't rely on dark vision. But this also, combined with the disguised self at level 3, because you can cast spells. I'm very interested in now playing Gloomstalker and doing a lot of city shenanigans where you run into town and duck behind a desk. So, like, behind the lights from the windows and that. Then you're casting disguise on yourself and coming up as an old lady. Go, oh, whoever stole it ran that way. He stole my baby. Oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, please help me, son.
The watch go running off in a direction.
Suckers.
Stupid watch. Who'd do that?
But it does raise the question, because it doesn't say anything about how the Gloomstalker magic works, and it doesn't say how the Umbral Sight works. So, if I change my disguised self of a Gloomstalker into a little old lady, do I then become visible, or am I an invisible little old lady?
Yeah, I think it's player choice. As long as you're conscious, you actively turn it on and off would be mine.
So this is more just DMs run with it and have some fucking fun?
Yeah, well, that's his ability to go invisible in the
by the way.
So,
yeah.
Potty language, but potty mouth.
So, Umbral Sight seems amazing for roleplay because you can duck into a dark corner, cast disguise self, and then walk out looking like a little old lady. The main reason we all play D&D.
Yeah.
So, Iron Mind, take it away at level 7, Archie.
So, Iron Mind level 7, you have honed the ability to resist mind-altering powers of your prey. From your prey. You gain proficiency in wisdom saving throws. And if you already have proficiency in that because you've gained it some other way, you can then choose to then gain proficiency in your intelligence or charisma saving throws. And you won't have all of them by this stage. What do I like about this? If I've got a melee type that I just can't hit, particularly with his dodge and all that sort of stuff, I hit him with a mental thing as a DM. This protects you in that regard so that hopefully you'll make your save versus your hold person or some sort of enchantment to throw off the melee type.
Yeah, and if you did multi-class in the Gloomstalker from like Rogue or something that might have a wisdom saving throw, it's one of those ones where, hey, it allows you to then get some use out of this ability, because I'm a big fan of these abilities where, hey, if you have this proficiency or if you already have this 7th throw proficiency, choose another one, because it recognises the fact that, hey, there's a good chance that somebody's multi-classed or
picked it up early.
Yeah, so
you wanted it.
If you're a DM, just with other classes allow it, but I love the way this one's worded. Okay, Stalker's Flurry. I like pronouncing this differently, so I'll say Stalker's Flurry. Flurry. Stalker's Flurry. At 11th level, you learn to attack with unexpected speed that can turn a miss into another strike. Once on each of your turns, when you miss with the weapon attack, you can make another weapon attack as part of the same action. So this is not a bonus action. This is literally
a reroll.
You're attacking from invisibility with advantage twice, possibly 3 times with Crossbow Expert on your first turn.
Yep.
Or actually at 11th level, 4 times. And if any of those miss, you can then reroll with advantage.
Yeah, another combat-orientated style, but to assure that you get your shots on target.
Yeah, and if you're doing an on-hit build, this is perfect. So if you're using lots of poisons, this is great, because the more times you hit them, the more times you apply the poisons. Hey, it's great.
More saves versus poison.
Hey, and you beat the DM and you won D&D. That's what it's all about, people. Numbers.
So, moving on, we get Shadowy Dodge. So, starting at 15th level, you can dodge in unforeseen ways, with wisps of supernatural shadow around you. When a creature makes an attack roll against you and doesn't have advantage on that roll, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on it. You must use this feature before you know the outcome of the attack. So, Usually you would have disadvantage anyway if you're in darkness. So you've been caught out in the light. You were unable to get to your darkness spot. You're caught in between, dashing between alleyways or such. And you've been hit. It's a normal attack because you're probably out in the open dashing through the darkness. They've got no advantage or sort of thing on you. And you get to then impose disadvantage before you hear if the attack, the outcome of the attack. So there's no limit on how many times you can do this. So
Just a reaction.
it's a reaction. So once a turn, you're going to use it. Of course, you're going to use it.
Yeah, can I just say this feels like a really poorly written ability. It feels like you've DM'd for someone with this before, right?
Yep.
How much did you want to hit that person?
Well, most of the time, you're not hitting them anyway because they're in darkness.
So when you finally get a
by
shot, they get
15th
to
level,
apply.
they're usually pretty good at making sure they get that darkness to get their advantage. So you're usually dealing with it anyway. They dash out and you think, here's my opportunity to hit them, and you're like, fucking disadvantage.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
This is bullshit.
I want to kill him. Fine. I'll hit him with a mental thing. I can't hit him with a mental thing. He's got proficiency in the damn thing.
I just now listen. This is all I want to point out. Your swarm keeper at this same level, or close to it. I don't know, fucking close.
Yep.
When they get attacked, they can literally turn into a heap of bugs
Bees.
and teleport to somewhere else in the battlefield, and they still take half damage. But these guys can dodge in unforeseen ways. not fucking turn into bugs and vanishing and then reappearing. Unforeseen, like little wisps of shadow and shit.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, you're looking at playing this. What sort of character concept are you thinking? How are you running this character? What talks to you, Gloomstalker?
I love my mechanical characters. So, after looking at the level 15, 11, and 7th level abilities, I've decided to multi-class. So I'm going something along the lines of a Path of the Giant.
Yeah.
Barbarian. Yep. Because I want to be able to use this beautiful attacks as a bugbear, as a gigantic or humongous bugbear from 60 feet, throwing axes at level 6 barbarian, level 3 Gloomstalker. Doing extra damage from the Gloomstalker shit, extra damage from the rage bonus, extra damage from this shit, and just wailing on people with flying axes and stuff from 60 feet away. Because that sounds absolutely hilarious. An invisible... What are the class sizes? You got large?
Or you start off at tiny, small, medium, large, huge, gigantic.
Gigantic, yeah, it is gigantic. So, yeah, that one.
I want to be that one.
So they're like, hey, you got to roll with disadvantage. It's like, I attack west. I shoot west to hit this goddamn giant that's invisible.
Like hitting a mountain.
But I'm invisible.
You're at disadvantage.
It's fucking amazing. Listen, don't get me wrong. I think everyone should have the right to play the game they want. But if you don't play this subclass as an invisible giant, you're a maniac. I don't know what you're doing. How about yourself? You maniac.
I guess I'm not playing a giant. I think for someone who's going to crunch the numbers on this and get something that's going to be truly deadly, I think you're going to end up multi-classing the same again and pick up that assassin rogue for those extra abilities in that first round and just compound everything on the this massive damage at the early rounds. You're in darkness, you've got advantage, you're just shooting out of nowhere, you're getting sneak attack, you're getting your extra force damage, it's all weapon damage, it's all coming into play and you're just dropping people, boom, boom, boom. You're the snipers, the group are running in, you're just up in the fucking tree just pinging these people as they just drop as the group run through.
You used to play Commander Keen with God mode on, didn't you? 100%. But no, it's an amazing mechanical build. Like, if you want to drop characters, if you're playing in a game that is all mechanical and you are just dungeon running and killing shit, this is an amazing subclass to go assassin rogue and all this shit.
Dungeons, you're going to do great. Cities at nighttime, great. Adventures during the daytime, you're going to lose some of your abilities because you needed to find darkness. But we'll talk about that in player and DM tips. Have you got anything for players as to how they can make sure they get the most out of this class, Mitch?
Other than having some fun and saying, hey, lean into that
That giant idea.
umbral sight for roleplay. Being able to disappear and then cast spells and walk out of that area that you were previously invisible is amazing. Being able to cast Rope Trick and disappear is amazing. Like, these seem like amazing spells to use for naughty thieves in... I'm not talking Murder Hobo. I'm talking fun campaigns where you're messing around in town and escaping the guards and causing all kind of raucous. Maybe even like a campaign where you're all orphans living at their, Harry Potter style shit.
Okay.
It seems like a really cool character to have, where you're just messing with that umbral sight. And as far as characters go, just lean into the roleplay. Don't focus so hard on mechanical. I respect your right to choose to do what you want.
Yep. I get it. And for me, I'm looking for those PC tips. So you're going to have to look at how to manage darkness and how to particularly manage how much darkness can you get out of thick jungle? How much darkness do you get when there's two torches up ahead and you hide behind the column? Like, are you in darkness for that? Can you pop out and still stay in darkness? You're probably going to need to figure out with your DM how you're going to do that. In which case, from the player perspective, now I guess you're looking at what does darkness mean to you as your relationship with darkness for role-playing reasons. But now, what does darkness mean to you? And how do you acquire or get darkness? How are you going to extinguish fires and flames on torches that are going down that you want to sneak it down? How are you going to blend your character in if you want darkness everywhere and the rest of your party needs light to see? So if you've got a group of humans or some such that you're playing with, you might struggle to get those extra abilities because your human group can't see in the without the light. Or they might need you to be off on the peripheral sort of thing, shooting in because you're never in the fight because you need that darkness. Now, when it comes to extinguishing light, you might have to look at how do you put out both natural and also magical light. Are you light's going to have to come up to a double or triple layered burlap sack and put it over a magical torch to extinguish or could cover the light?
Yeah, was Dumbledore a Gloomstalker using a deluminator to get rid of that so he could get advantage on his fucking attacks against
that
Hagrid?
Magic item? Or do you need to then look at some sort of ice arrows that you shoot ahead before we walk into that area that extinguishes the natural flames? Or maybe you can homebrew a special arrow that has a small dark head that'll just, if you can hit the torch right on, it'll hide it in darkness. So how do you deal with darkness is going to be, how do you make sure you can get it where you need it? It's going to be a big part of how does your player get that? For DMs, I think it then goes to the opposite side of things. If you're a DM running a dungeon, who's lighting the torches every hour to keep these natural burning torches constantly burning in a dungeon full of traps? Who is doing that? And if you've got someone, that's fine. But if they kill him, the torches aren't going to keep getting lit. Do you use magic light to keep them all going? Because if you've got natural burning torches, and I've worked in an area that ventilation is extremely important, those torches burn oxygen. Those torches have got to get reset. Those torches also give off poisonous gases and things like that. How does your dungeon survive with natural burning torches that burn 24/7 at any hour when a group comes?
Somebody worked in underground mining. Somebody's a little bit traumatized from his air
what
control.
Walking around in the darkness means.
Yeah, well, I worked down there as well. I get what you're about, but I'm going to say, as a DM that's going to be dealing with this BS, one thing, if you're new to DMing, may I recommend VTTs that have the vision built into them? Because if you take the time to write everyone's vision and the vision on the torches that are in the map, it'll actually get rid of it all. But what I like to do, and my personal DM tip for this, is my pet hate for dungeons and for D&D in general is people that take their, let's say, previous trauma into the next game. So when they walk along, if they see a magic item, what do? They take off their coat and pick it up with their coat so they don't get the curse. And it's like, just pick up the goddamn sword. There's no curse. And they pick it up and you're like, aha, I got you.
It's cursed.
It's cursed, motherfucker. But no, I don't like that. Like, if they haven't come across a trap before in their storyline or in the game, stop treating every door like it's trapped. What I like to do in a campaign with a Gloomstalker and a rogue is I like to put a little mechanism in front of every door, really obvious high passive perception, that if someone steps on it, so high passive perception, but even higher, low passive perception, high passive intelligence. So they see it, they notice it, but if their passive intelligence is like 24, they'll know that it's actually an activation, that if they step on it, it unlocks and opens the door and lights the entire room for the next room. So if people just walk up to the door opens and it lights the corridor. But if they walk up to it and they're like, oh, check for traps, they disarm it. And then they walk into pitch blackness and then people have to carry torches and then you got all that bullshit. But I like to pre-plan my light and my dark areas.
It's going to matter.
It's going to matter. And a good thing to do is, as a DM, if it's an experienced player, you might need to lay down the law and explain how you're going to run it. If they're new, you may have to lay down the law and explain how you're going to run it, because communication is key on things like lighting and darkness, because it runs very different to reality.
Yeah. So this class could do very well in dungeons. So, or open terrain in the night,
or when doing stupid shit around town. But no, so I love this subclass now that I know that you can get Disguise Self and Umbral Sight.
Yep.
Apart from that, it's all mechanics and bullshit and damage.
It is.
But I respect people's right to want to just drop shit and do some damage, because that is pretty fucking cool.
It can be fun.
Yeah.
I like doing damage.
Play Invisible Giants. It's amazing.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this and adventure reviews and subclass reviews, check out the rest of our videos, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much. See ya.
Fire.